Pikmin is a fun game, isn't it? Well, I like colors, and I like Pikmin. So let's find out what Pikmin we're all to see next. Every game in the series that matters has added brand new Pikmin types. It started off really unique with heavy purple Pikmin and light poisonous white Pikmin, then followed up with some of the strangest Pikmin such as rock and flying Pikmin. Then, just recently, we got Ice and Glow. Each of these additions have greatly changed the way we play these games, and they all work together to build their own elemental nations per se, since each in a way find a specific element and make it their entire personality. So, for future Pikmin types, it's safe to assume a few things. 1, it needs a unique color. I would personally avoid having them be any closer in color than Ice and Blue are. 2, they need a unique element. It could be a subsect of an element like Ice to Water, but we don't need 20 Fire-type Pikmin, like Pokemon or Smash with Fire Emblem characters. And at last, I think we need to add at least one brand new Night Pikmin. After all, we wouldn't want to leave these Glow Pikmin all alone. Well, with that, I don't think we need to dilly-dally too much, so let's just get into it. First off, there's an element we're dearly missing, and that, of course, is Void. To prepare for this video, I looked up different elements, and Void came up for some reason. At first, it seemed really unusual, but with some thought, I think it has potential to be really cool. Imagine this. You're wandering through a deep cave system. You're 22 layers deep. Then you stumble across this flower. It's black, but not like the rock Pikmin. It has a bit of a spacey feel to it, so you go ahead and throw 5 red Pikmin into it. Then pops out a single psychedelic Void Pikmin, taking up all 5 of the regular Pikmin you threw in. Right after plucking it, a Water Wraith drops down. You're getting ready to run as far away as soon as possible. But then you realize as it gets closer, it becomes more opaque. With the help of the Void Pikmin, invisible objects and creatures become visible, and vulnerable to all Pikmin types. With this new ability in the game, I want to introduce numerous types of Void/Wraith enemies. Perhaps just reskins of traditional enemies like Bulborbs, or even more unique enemies. But I want to make sure that there's several invisible treasures that can only be revealed with Void Pikmin. Maybe give a water texture around them, or perhaps Ochi can sniff them out with the special Void gadget. But no matter what, the only way you can collect these treasures are with the Void Pikmin. Now, alongside their treasure hunting, I want them to have a very unique combat ability. What if, whenever they're thrown at an enemy, it doesn't just damage it, but it completely annihilates it? This is why it's so necessary that it costs more Pikmin than you get back. It wouldn't be able to kill bosses in one shot, obviously, but it should at least be able to destroy something as big as a big Bulborb. I know people would try to farm these guys, so I think it's necessary to only produce 1 Void Pikmin per Candy Pop Bud. And the buds should only return after 10 game days, rather than just simply leaving the cave and come back to regenerate it. These could also work as another Night Pikmin variant. Maybe in the day you can't put them in the onion, so you have to leave behind all the Void Pikmin, and since they're trans-dimensional, they won't get eaten overnight. Then, during the night segments, you can pop by and pick them up. My main issue with this idea is that it's kinda complex. I wouldn't want to try explaining this over a short dialogue bubble. Maybe they can live in caves like Bulbmin? Honestly, I have no clue. But it's a pretty cool idea in concept and in picture. Next, how about light? We got the sun. Why not drop that bad boy onto our little plant friends here? Sun or light Pikmin are gonna be pretty straightforward. Give us caves again, make some of them really dark, and drop some light Pikmin in there as the main, well, source of light. If they hit an enemy, maybe it blinds/stuns them for a few seconds, but also reduces or completely removes the light from the Pikmin for a temporary amount of time. Nothing permanent, but make it a decent trade for immobilizing enemies. If we can think of a decent reason to bring them out at night, they'll light the area around them, but at the cost/sorta advantage of it drawing enemies towards you. This could be a solid way of getting enemies away from the Lumicanals, but that's only if you're prepared for the onslaught of enemies. Color-wise, these have to take a page out of Yellow's book since whites are already taken and I think the bright yellow just fits best. Otherwise, that's probably everything for the Sun Pikmin. Now, let's take a page out of Pokemon's book. Fighting is an element, right? No? Well, who cares? We got Orange Pikmin now. Why orange? Because that's the color Pokemon labels it, and at the end of Pikmin 1's perfect ending, we see a shot of several onions, including onions we hadn't seen at that point, and among them, we have this beautiful orange. So, for these orange Pikmin, I want them to shine. And by that, I mean I want them to be disgustingly buff. Like a 90-year-old woman whose retirement is spent all day, every day at the gym. For one, obviously, high attack power. Now, in the games currently, we have red, purple, and rock Pikmin who all do above average damage. And I don't really want to nerf any of those, so we'll have the orange Pikmin do the same amount of damage as rock Pikmin, but with the added strength to their tiny little arms, they'll attack at 3 times the normal rate of the rest. I'd like you to picture this orange Pikmin with his tiny arms and stem all punching in a circular rhythm. If I'm being honest, which I absolutely am, this would be the cutest thing ever. But I still would not want to get in a fight with this adorable little guy. Alright, time for a quick fire round of new Pikmin types. Number 1, Nuclear Pikmin. The moment you take it out of the onion, it does 50 times the base damage, speed, and any other stat you can think of. But much like uranium, it has a half-life, and the longer it's out of the onion, the stats get cut in half, and half again, and again, until the end of the day, when it does next to no damage and moves slower than a 90-year-old woman whose retirement isn't spent all day every day at the gym. Number 2, Wood Pikmin. I actually have no idea what this should do, but I think it would be really cool if we saw a giant tree that has the face and stem of a Pikmin. Number 3, Slime Pikmin. It's basically Gooigi, and you can throw it through gates that other Pikmin won't fit through. They're really slow, but if you throw them at enemies, they slow down too. Number 4. Okay, this one actually needs a bit more time dedicated to it, so hear me out. Please, hear me out. Gun Pikmin. I know, it sounds crazy, and this is a Nintendo game, but like, gun, Pikmin. Tell me that wouldn't be awesome. Obviously, he'll be Gunmetal Silver, obviously. Where do you find him? At the ammunition store. Duh. It's irresponsible to just leave him lying around, isn't it? So, what exactly does this gun Pikmin do? Well, frankly, I'm upset you had to ask me. But you know what? I'll tell you. He shoots. He has no remorse. His victims cry out in pain. But he doesn't just end their suffering. You see, he likes to hear them cry. He feeds off of it. It thrills him. There's no stopping the gun Pikmin. We've tried. 13 men were lost that day. There's no stopping the rampages of the gun Pikmin. Don't you understand? We let him loose, and the moment that Pandora's box was opened, there was no closing it. Much like the Tower of Babel, man's callow ignorance led him to his own destruction. As they built the tower to unknown gods, we gave a Pikmin a gun, and we shall forever live in cowardice from that. But he's just a cute little guy. And if you have any Pikmin ideas I haven't thought of, shout them out in the comments. We're all looking forward to see what's coming next. And if you want to join me on that, like and subscribe. And remember, we did this to ourselves. Keep cool. Bye.